Hey, it's Rich.
And Taylor.
With Town Wine Spirits. So we've recently brought in a lot of tequilas.
Whoa. We need to talk about, this is a throwback video.
Wow, it is.
So,
What are you doing?
A little pregame.
Pre-gaming for what?
The next video here.
No.
Come on, this was today's email.
You pre-game with tequila.
Oh,
We don't pre-game with wine.
All right.
You know it's great. It's tequila.
Let's go.
so back when we first started doing videos, several years ago, or several years ago?
Yeah,
No, feels like a long time ago. So we started every video with a little bit of tequila. As our tagline was "But first tequila," because we really like tequila. So we started out, tasted a bunch of stuff, but over the years, and especially this year, we've brought in a lot of really new, cool tequilas that we're excited about, mainly focused in on additive-free tequilas.
Yeah, that's a huge growing segment of the market today. There's a lot of brands out there that do use some additives, and they ultimately will add 4 typically things that you're going to put into tequila, and they're really just trying to enhance the flavor of that. So one is going to be sugar that helps sweeten it. Second would be glycerin, which is kind of an odd one at times, but it can really help some body weight and gives you better texture on the palate. Third one's going to be vanilla. Again, add that little bit of taste to it. And then the last one is going to be caramel coloring to kind of give you a little bit of dark coloring to make that Repos and Anejos stand out a little more.
Sure, but so all the things you said actually make it sound like those are going to help the product taste good.
Well, so what they're doing is they're adding additional flavors to it, but the beauty with additive-free is it's really highlighting the pure agave.
Absolutely.
And really looking at the craft of what these farmers are doing and the maturity of the agave, because I think the average Blue Weber agave takes about 8 years to mature, or potentially more depending where it is. So it's incredible to think that this is like trying to keep it in its purest form.
Yeah, absolutely.
And show that expression.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily that tequilas that have additives to them are bad, because they can taste really good, and there's a reason why they're super friendly and super easy to drink, but we really prefer, because maybe our wine background and whiskey background, that we want the purity of the spirit.
Yeah.
So that's what we're all about.
Yeah, and I think when you look at it, there's really, again, there's lots of different, I don't say classifications, but there's really 4 main tiers, if for the simplicity, I'm going to say that. Looking at Blanco, so again, that's just going to be typically your clear or sometimes silver tequila, kind of really the purest expression of the agave, because it's really just being distilled and then put in the bottle.
But you can do a small aging on it, but
under 60 days.
Under 60 days.
Yeah. And then the second tier goes actually now aging in wood from 60 to 1 year, and that will be called Reposado for resting. Basically what it's doing. Next step up will now go basically from 1 to 3 years, which is called Anejo, so year at that point. And then the last one is going to be extra Anejo, which is going to be a minimum of 3 years of aging. And it's always in some sort of a oak, and again, that could change drastically by each gnome and distiller of what they want to do.
Yeah, cool. So we are going to just go through and taste sort of 4 of our favorites, things that we really like. That does not discount the rest of the stuff on the table, because we really like everything else on the table too. But we wanted to pick these out. This is one of Rich's favorites.
Yeah, this is. I really love this. So this is the Siete Leguas. So it's basically 7 leagues or 7 generations of tequila, or the makers of this tequila. This is, I think, just a beautifully pure and expressive. It really shows a little bit of that agave spice comes across the nose immediately, which I really, really enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. But you're getting a lifted citrus. You're getting a little of that cooked agave. The purity on the nose is absolutely just screams. Very well done agave spirit.
And on the palate, you immediately get this very smooth, very classy tequila. But wow, all of a sudden, you kind of the back of your mouth, the taste buds really get that little bit of that spice coming across. Not like a spicy hot spice, but just it's really nice.
So I know why you really like this.
Why?
It's really good. So it's $50. It's not expensive. It's really well made. The Mijenta Blanco is sort of my go-to at-home sipper for Blanco. I really like it. I think it's beautiful. I think this. I think it is a worthy adversary.
Oh, okay.
Not an adversary. It's a worthy
it's good.
companion.
Sometimes we need to. Have different thoughts here. Actually, that's kind of funny that you mentioned the Mijenta. We're going to actually now try their Reposado.
Okay.
So
cool.
now, again, Reposado is basically can be aged anywhere from 2 months to 12 months.
Yep.
I know Mijenta is actually aging it for 6 months.
6 months.
So they're, again, a little bit longer, or also right in the middle there. But again, you can see it has a nice little bit of a hue to it.
Yep, and so this is aged in American oak, French oak, and then French acacia barrels.
Correct. Yeah, so I don't know if there's a breakdown, but they're using all three to kind of help enhance the profile.
So you get a little more of an herbal component to it.
Yeah.
You get a little more wood on the nose.
Wow.
So somebody in the studio forgot to turn off the phone, so we apologize for that. And nobody's going to answer it, of course.
So it's so amazing how just that little bit of time in the three different woods really adds so much more, like a little more texture to the palate.
I was just thinking about the texture. As you're talking, like I'm just like, oh man, the texture's beautiful. Rich, you've got a phone call on line one.
They'll have to go to voicemail, I guess, or something. We're gonna get back to it. But I do think it's actually it's amazing to see just the viscosity, the creaminess on the palate, and there's that little bit of wood influence, and herbal you get. It's really.
I think and I see the herbal and the wood on the finish for sure. There's a tiny bit of vanilla. You get all those sort of classic sort of wood flavors, but in a very subdued way that really just add window dressing rather than taking over.
Oh, you gotcha. That's really nice. Now moving on. So the El Tesoro. Now we're going into the Anejo.
So this one surprised me.
Yes.
So not El Tesoro is a brand that we really like. We carry the Blanco, the Repo, and the Anejo. We think they're really, really well made.
Yep.
And we tasted them and we liked them, which is why we bought them. What I did not know was the aging on this is impressive.
It is really impressive. So this now, again, for Anejo, it has to be a minimum of 1 year. They're not giving us an exact age statement, but according to their website information we have, it is aged between 2 to 3 years.
Which is a long time.
It is, and it's so funny because it's a little bit lighter, I think, than a number of other Anejos out there. So some people are always like questioning it, but
which is interesting because this is that's the color you're gonna get when you're not using additives.
Correct.
Like, if you had a 2 to 3 year old Anejo from somebody that was going to be adding something to it, it would look like this. It would look very, very dark.
Line 1.
I guess they're.
Guess no, yeah.
No,
can you just take? We're going to take a quick 30-second break. If you could just pause for a moment, just go grab it. Just come back. So we really wanted to let you guys in. So you really know what this experience is like. So if you guys ask where do we record these, you can now know we record them in the store where everybody can find us.
I only wish we had more of a soundproof studio.
I know.
I could easily handle this.
So back to the El Tesoro. So 2 to 3 years in wood, all ex-bourbon.
Correct.
The color, it doesn't carry a lot of color. The nose is really interesting.
The nose is. Now all of a sudden you start to really get a lot more of the. I don't know. Which is even funnier.
So it's been a while since we have recorded a video. It's been several months, and maybe you can tell we might be a tiny bit out of sorts. So if you're still watching, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Anyways, the
all
nose.
right.
There's so much. The wood influence is clearly on it. You're definitely getting a little bit of that.
It's funny. I find it almost in a sense it's less. The wood almost seems less intrusive, and intrusive is completely the wrong word. It seems a little more subdued compared to the Mijenta, which is not like powerful in the wood aspect. Maybe you're getting a little more wood nuance.
You are,
but you're not getting. It's not like wood.
On the palate, I feel it's getting a little bit drier because of the time, and then it's. But there's just now there's a little bit
creamy texture. You
get
definitely
creaminess,
you get the creaminess on the vanilla. You get a little bit on the palate for sure.
So now I know why they add it, because it takes 2 to 3 years to actually get
there. Yeah. That's lovely. So that's $75, which is pretty reasonably priced considering it's 2 to 3 years. I think that's an amazing price actually. The Mijenta is $68.
Yep.
This is $50.
Yep.
So those are like the 3 core basic. There's a couple others that we're going to talk about which we really like, but now
comes the
sort of the granddaddy.
Yeah, so I'll probably mess up the name here, but the Tears of Llorona. Yeah, I can't roll my L maybe as well as I should. But anyways, so this is an extra Anejo, and these guys are really kind of at the top of the game. They're aging it now for 5 years.
5 years.
So now, again, minimum is 3 years for extra Anejo. They're going, 2 years past that. But I also know that they also working with 3 different types of wood. They're doing Scotch barrels, sherry barrels, and brandy barrels.
Yes.
So again, I think in what we were reading, and it's very much they want a little bit of the characteristics from those 3 very distinct barrels to really provide that, and that's also where they're getting the color from. Like brandy and stuff.
Well, it's 5 years in wood.
Yeah.
That's a long time,
So.
and they're going after the. It's absolutely a sipping tequila. That it wants to be super smooth and super approachable, not sweet. You'd be a little on the dry side.
So this is now slightly more expensive.
Slightly more expensive.
$2.90 a bottle.
$2.90. Yep.
So yeah,
$2.90.
but it is a liter bottle. So look at all the.
You guys, it's like a value.
Yeah.
See, we got this bad boy liter too. That's what you want to use for mixing.
Yeah.
This is what you want to use for sipping. Because it's delicious.
The nose is so different. Oh my god, this is.
The nose is striking. It is so beautiful.
I'm getting so much there though. Like now you're starting to get like.
I'm getting like nectar and honey and herbal.
Dried
fruits. Yeah.
Honey component there. Oh
there's
my
a
god.
big floral. There's a spearmint note coming through. There's all sorts of stuff happening in this thing. So we're gonna spend the next 20 minutes just smelling it, and then we'll get back to you guys.
All right, we're gonna fast forward. Okay, fine. We've already wasted enough time with the phone call.
With the phone calls.
It's awful. I don't want to be like, wow, it's amazing because there's so much money.
Wow, it's amazing.
There's clearly a craft and art that went in, and I think it's clearly the barrels they pick clearly show and represent what this tequila does.
It is a beautiful, beautiful spirit.
Wow.
It's like it is. It's showcasing the agave absolutely beautiful. It's showcasing all the different woods beautifully. It's so well integrated. It's so balanced.
I was just gonna say, it was amazing to think that this is a purist. It's just agave.
Yes.
And each one, it's gonna help smooth it out. But it's amazing how they're still, after 5 years, you're getting that agave richness, spice.
Yep.
But it's amazing how much more complex in the flavor profile when you actually do all that.
I could see myself drinking that. I really could.
I hope so.
I hope so.
We are.
Yeah, exactly. That is really beautiful. So, we're a big fan of all these that are on the table. And there's some small subcategories within these. There's like still strength from the Código, which is going to be coming in at 90 proof. Or you can get to the PM spirits on the end, which is going to be 55% alcohol, so 110. There's a bunch of different things which are really interesting about these spirits. Interestingly enough, Patron, which is maybe one of the biggest brands on the planet that everybody knows, has been recently certified as additive-free, which is really good for them.
Yeah, they've said it for a long time, so it's good.
Yeah, so if you guys if you want comfort and you want to buy that, it's certified additive-free, and you're going to get
the crazy thing is that these guys were the OG producers.
Absolutely.
Patron,
So this family 7 generations ago were sort of the people that sort of were the first makers of Patron. And then we've got, last but not least in a sense, we have the Paladar. So this is a Reposado, which is really interesting. All the agave is grown in volcanic soil, and this is the actual soil it was grown in. But we have eventually, at some point in the future, we don't know when it's coming, because getting stuff out of Mexico is really challenging. But there will be a Rody Barrel Brotherhood barrel pick of this, which we're excited for.
Very excited.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got at least a little bit of information from us. Stop in store.
Yeah.
Ask some questions, pick one out, and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, and if you liked it, hit the subscribe button and follow us as we explore the better side of wine and spirits. That was pretty good, actually.
That was good.
But thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks.